What's up, everyone? Welcome back to The Moment. It's Tuesday, December 2nd. American Canto is out. Britney Spears is celebrating a birthday. And I'm joined, as always, by my wonderful co-host, Rebecca Senenez. Rebecca, good morning.
Wow, what an intro. Good morning.
Yes, and also, you know her, you love her. Co-host of the Halfsies podcast. She's a writer. You know her from everywhere. Hello, Giggles, Two Broke Girls. She's the funniest person I know. Los Angeles by way of Lexington. Molly McAleer, welcome to the pod.
Oh my gosh, thanks so much for having me, you guys.
Molly is one of the funniest people. I love your TikToks. They're like truly unhinged in my very specific sense of humor.
Yeah, you know, I'm just doing me. That's just who I am, and it comes very naturally. So I appreciate that. I put a lot of effort into my TikTok especially. So I appreciate you noticing.
Yeah. Well, you know who else is putting a lot of effort into their, I don't know, I'm going to call it 2028 presidential campaign, is one Mr. Senator Cory Booker, who got married over the weekend. He got married to Alexis Lewis. She's gorgeous. You got to give it to her.
She's gorgeous.
Totally gorgeous. The wedding looked gorgeous. There's a nearly 20-year age gap between them, and they got married only 3 months after they got engaged. And I just remember in 2019 when he ran, he got like some questions about his bachelorhood. This was him on Charlemagne the God, and then I want to talk about his nuptials. I want Molly's take.
People feel like you being single could affect your chances. You being a bachelor in a basement apartment.
I got a house in Newark now.
I
got a house in Newark.
Okay.
And I want to say, if it didn't affect Donald Trump and the terrible things that he's done in his personal life, and he still somehow managed to be president.
I mean, I think that if Donald Trump get elected president at this point with the personal life that he has, then anybody can.
You would only be like the third president, I think.
I think first of all, there's 2 more years until I might switch. So
he might get married.
Give me some time.
Well, I'm speaking into existence.
Speaking into existence. So my girlfriends might listen to this. So
you don't want to. Oh, okay. I'm about to say you don't want to marry somebody now, because once you start getting hot, you might become president. She might just want you for that.
No,
I got first lady.
Before I declare president, I'm dating somebody that's really special. So.
Oh,
yeah.
So Cory Booker got a boo.
I got a boo.
You must not read the blogs, Charlemagne.
I don't. Tell me. Who's the boo?
He's on the blogs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we think? Is this a clout marriage? Am I being too cynical? Did they just meet and fall in love? What do you guys think?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't think about Cory Booker. His filibuster was great. And I do think he was wearing a catheter. No one talks about that. But I just don't think you don't go to the bathroom for 24 hours. I just think that's insane. I'll believe in love for the sake of it. And also, do you really have to be in love to get married? I don't think so. But good for him.
President.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
he can't Grover Cleveland it.
We know Grover Cleveland was married, and I know this because I just watched this Netflix series about him. James Buchanan wasn't married.
But Grover Cleveland got married in office. Little known fact, his sister was probably a lesbian, and she had to act as his first lady for a long time. And they were very close. I think that's the real story, is his sister being like, you need to get married. And then she went and got married. I went on a very long cruise with a woman. It's a super interesting story, but he married, like, I forget exactly how she knew him, but the son of a friend of his who died in a carriage accident. I don't know.
I think that's the same way that Cory Booker met his now wife.
Yeah.
No, but here's the thing. I'll say a couple of things. First of all, I think that, a Black man running for office is always going to have it harder. So he's going to be criticized more than Donald Trump in that regard, right? So because they're like, oh, but like Donald Trump got elected. And it's like, this is comparing 2 different things.
Apples and oranges, yeah.
Right? There's that. But also, guys, don't get mad at me. I'm just going to say it. I think what they probably thought is Cory would have run earlier, and then his mom would have sort of been his stand-in first lady because they have a very close relationship. Now his mom is getting older, and it's like, how do we make her the sort of like de facto first lady, like a Grover Cleveland with the sister? And so it's like, hey, why don't you marry someone? And I'm with you, Molly. Like, let's believe in love. It's a gorgeous wedding, but I will say, like, the funniest thing was I was looking at the photos with Rebecca and I'm like, okay, so they got married in a courthouse, but then they had some type of like, it seemed like a Jewish ceremony. There were elements of Judaism. And then they took photos in front of a church. I'm like, okay, so like I was like, I don't know. Are they going to renew their vows at the Scientology Center?
They're message testing their wedding. They're like, let's make sure we hit all the key voting blocks so that when we run in 2028, everybody is happy with our wedding.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I mean,
I feel like that's like a little bit of like fun news. And I feel like I saw all the Democrat congressional members be like, congratulations, Cory, but like the Democrats had a little fun. The Democrats got a wedding.
Yeah.
Who went?
I don't think it was I think it was like just for the pics and the family. I don't think that many people went. It's just like everybody had, like, John Bon Jovi was like our new, New Jersey senator. Like all the Instagram posts were.
Now I believe it's fake.
You think
does.
it's fake?
Now I think so.
You think they called John Bon Jovi and were like, hey bro, we need you for the endorsement?
Yeah, I do. I think he's around like that. But also I think that I don't know. I mean, friends and family is for normal people. And I would think that there would be some names coming out for him besides John Bon Jovi.
I mean, a 3-month wedding, it's tough to get the people in with a shutdown. You know what I mean? Like planning a wedding and a shutdown is. Whew.
You're right. And yeah, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I'll give her this. Every dress, every look was a fit.
Yeah.
She looked
she's beautiful.
Great.
Yeah.
Beautiful, great style. We're into it. So, hey, and we'll get to that in a minute because maybe the Dems can be hot. But before we go there, let's just talk a minute about what's happening with Venezuela. So this week, which it was only Monday, but Trump declared, right? Like Trump declared Venezuelan airspace, quote unquote, closed and pulled his national security team into a high stakes meeting on what is going to come next. So this is after weeks of U.S. naval and anti-drug operations in the Caribbean, and members of both parties are now sounding the alarm, and they're saying, the White House looks like it's inching toward military action without even consulting Congress, to which I say, which I often say on this show, is this illegal? Like, Is it legal?
No. It is. It is illegal. And now they're also talking about Pete Hegseth committing war crimes in Venezuela. It is illegal. I mean, like, it's like sort of like this gray area, but like it sounds like Pete Hegseth definitely committed a war crime, and both Democrats and Republicans are coming together on that one because Pete Hegseth, they struck a boat in the Caribbean, and then when that boat had survivors on it, by the way, like these are sort of like extrajudicial, like they don't really know who's on these boats exactly, but they struck the boat, and then there were survivors left on this boat, and like according to international law, if there are survivors on a boat strike and they aren't shooting back at you, like those are now prisoners. And they struck the boat again. And so now there's talk from Republicans and Democrats about bringing war crimes against him. Of course, Trump would be likely to pardon him. But then meanwhile, Pete Hegseth tweeted this meme of Franklin the Turtle targeting narco terrorists, as he's deemed them. And it's like, war crimes and memes is like quite the combo.
This is like a deep cut, Franklin.
I mean, I just don't believe he has an emotional connection to Franklin. It would be like me posting a Peppa Pig meme. Like, I just don't have a relationship with her. It means nothing to me. And therefore, I think it's bullshit. And he was probably drunk.
He was probably drunk. Yeah. I mean, that's the scary part about all of this is like Pete Hegseth. I could probably sing. I like can hear the Franklin theme song in my head, which I'm not sure I'm proud of. I'm like, how much space has that taken up?
Same. And I don't think it's because you and I are not the Franklin age, but I think it's because we have like
our siblings.
And like, that's why it doesn't make sense for Pete Hegseth. Like his kids won't even be into Franklin. So I don't get it. But you know what I have to say? Like, not to cut him some slack, but like war crimes seem really complicated. Like, I feel like if someone said I was guilty of a war crime, I'd be like, you know what? You could be right. Like, I mean, do you think that he sits down and goes, oh, better check international law? Like, I just think he's going off the vibe.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I think that's a problem. I think the Secretary of Defense probably should be checking in on international law. And I feel like that one is like pretty obvious. But yeah, probably not. And like, I don't know. I think that this is something that pardon power has gone too far for everybody. I was pissed off when Biden pardoned Hunter at the end of his term. I think like if I were to wave a magic wand in 2028, I would say like one of the candidates should make part of their platform reining in the pardon power of the president, because like Pete Hegseth also probably has cover to do, to run roughshod, I think.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, yeah, pardon power has gone pretty far. You're right. You know who I wouldn't pardon?
Who?
I wouldn't pardon this Arizona Democratic Senator, Ruben Gallego, who had a series of leaked tweets come out. And he was very lucky because they came out over the holiday weekend, which is always actually a blessing in the PR world. But basically, he had these tweets come out that he had with a friend, and they were him complaining that the Democratic Party, which is his party, remember, doesn't allow women to be hot, and that Democratic men look like Democratic women, and then, of course, vice versa. So let Dems be hot again.
Let Dems be hot again. I mean, let's pull up Alexis Lewis again, the new Mrs. Booker. Who is hot?
She's a smoke show. That's not hot enough for you?
Hey, let Democrats be hot again. These are hot people. We're hot.
I think they're objectively more hot, don't you think? Like, I can't think of a hot Republican. I mean, like,
good point. That's a good
Tommy
point.
Lahren, I think, is like pretty, but like, I think we have all the pretty people.
I think it's like a weird scale, right? Like, I think Melania's pretty hot.
Yeah, but I don't think she's MAGA.
What is she?
Yeah, what is she?
I think she's a true apolitical. I don't think she cares at all.
Yeah,
she'd
be best.
She's tapped out.
She's tapped out. Yeah. I mean, I think the Republicans are like this weird, like Kristi Noem. Like, I guess she's hot. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is she hot? I think there's like a specific look that you're like, yeah, I guess we would categorize that as hot. Lindsay Halligan, Trump's lawyers are all hot. They can't practice law, but they are hot.
Well, I guess like to me, with what I'm thinking with Ruben Gallego is like, okay, so I think that you just think that like the MAGA look is hot, which is actually a reflection of white supremacy. Even though I know I look like a MAGA, like I know that I could look like a MAGA person. I know that I kind of not like whatever, but I'm just saying like, I think, also I think it's this idea that, that in order to be good or to be of ideas or worthy of voting, we just need to be hot. And so it's kind of like goes back to the Cory Booker of it all, where it's like, if you're going to have to run for president, it's a lot better when you have someone hot by your side.
Optics.
Right?
Yeah. And then also, meanwhile, I just want to throw out there, yesterday was World AIDS Day, and it was the first time since 1988 that the United States is not recognizing World AIDS Day. Not that these are like distinctly connected, but like it does feel like we're moving into this like gender normative anti-LGBTQ sentiment.
Yeah, I think we've been there, for a while. That's I mean, it's disgraceful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And also too, I saw this like photo of Biden from last year on World AIDS Day. And, you know, it was just the White House and they had like the, you know, the big red ribbon behind it. And it's like, listen, say what you want about Biden. He was showing up and showing out for a lot of things that were important. And I think that like we almost are if we can push that message more of like, yeah, he definitely was fading. Although I saw him over the weekend, not like in real life, but he looked great, you guys. He's looking good.
I think he's great.
And Jill Biden was seen buying lingerie. They were in Nantucket, and Jill Biden was buying lingerie. And I was like, you know what? God bless.
Jill's hot.
Jill's hot. Jill's hot. I know. I've always thought that Kim Cattrall should play her in a movie, in the made-for-TV movie.
He's only getting a made-for-TV movie. We're not even going to give him like a I don't know, like limited release.
I don't know. I feel like, you know, it ain't good. If he's getting the limited release, it's not the Joe Biden did well story. But
I would like to see like an indie production that like A24 buys. I'd like to see the dark, gritty Joe story. And I hope they could get Kim Cattrall. I've heard she's very expensive.
Good for her.
Yeah, of course. She shouldn't. I mean, I would never work again if I was her.
I wonder what our guest thinks about the Joe Biden made for TV and or A24 movie, because she is one of our first right-leaning creators that we're having on the show. And we're so honored.
I don't think I'm right-leaning.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. I
know enough. I'm apolitical. Like, I think I'm Melania.
Emilie Hagen. Emilie knows everything, is the Melania of the moment. Emilie Hagen is a journalist, a writer, a comedian. She runs her popular Substack, sharing her takes on the intersection of pop culture and news and politics. You've seen her on News Nation. You've seen her in The Hollywood Reporter. And now Emilie Knows Everything is here on The Moment. Welcome to The Moment, Emilie.
Hi. It probably appears that I'm right-leaning, but I'm very politically confused.
Can we start there? I'm curious about that. Like, tell me why we think you're right-leaning and why you think
I was working for House and Habit for a while, so automatically that puts me there. I was at election night at RFK's party last year, so in a red dress, so that puts me there. I've been writing articles for Maha Report, so I see why you think I would be, but lately I am very embarrassed. I wouldn't say I'm part of the ex-MAGA movement that's killing each other online right now. I think I voted for Kanye in 2020. I don't know if I'm a great guest for the show. He might not be a good fit.
No, you're such a good guest. This is exactly
fascinating. Yeah.
Well, no, and I think you know, there's so many ways that you have been connected to all the different things that are happening right now, right? Like, it must feel wild for you. No, you're good. Look at you glow. Today is so crazy because there's so many things happening, right? Like, it's December 2nd. So here's what's going on. It's Britney's birthday, and I know you were a big part of the Free Britney movement. Wait, I do have to ask, how do you think that Britney is spending her birthday?
Swimming somewhere.
In Mexico, or in like, she goes to Hawaii a lot, right?
Somewhere below the equator.
Okay.
Wasn't she out with Kim last night?
Really?
What?
Yeah, I think I saw pictures of her leaving Nobu with Kim in a happy birthday hat.
And she had that weird sleepover with Kim a couple of.
Why are they hanging?
I think they're going to try and put a Neuralink chip in her.
If it's not already in. It's weird because Kim hung out with Britney right after Candace Owens wanted to investigate Lou Taylor. And then suddenly we see Kim in bed with Britney. It's like they forced her in the bed for the photo shoot.
Yeah, they literally got in bed with Britney.
It was weird. It was like days after Candace said she was going to investigate Lou Taylor. And when I was at the Diddy trial, I was told by Diddy's team to stop talking about Lou Taylor, and that was the only threat I got the entire trial. So I'm kind of scared to even report on that shit anymore.
Wait, Emily, I don't know who Lou Taylor is. Can you explain to me who Lou Taylor is and why we should care?
Yeah, so in the Britney community, Lou is known as Lucifer, Loucifer, and she is behind the conservatorship. So when I used to go to the protests, all their signs would say like investigate Lucifer, and it would be her face with like horns. And she also tried to put Lindsay Lohan in a conservatorship, and she has just kind of been behind a lot. She's also the Kardashians' business manager now. BJ Investigates does a great series on her. She really dives deep, but the fans really hate Lou Taylor. Britney even tweeted Lou tried to kill her, and then it got no coverage, no media coverage whatsoever.
Huh.
Oh, and she's Diddy's business manager.
Okay, I was gonna ask that. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I have a friend. I think I always want to take the opportunity to say this. I have a friend who I'm occasionally in photos with that everyone thinks is Lou Taylor. And anytime that I take a picture of her, I will get like the nastiest fucking messages that are like, Meredith, after everything I'm like, this is not fucking Lou Taylor. I don't know what's
Yeah, it ain't good to be you shouldn't be in a photo with. That's a bad doppelganger to have.
So I do want to talk to you though, because also today is a big day because American Canto is finally out. And I know that you have had sort of a acquaintanceship relationship to Olivia Nuzzi. And so I'm wondering, like, we have so many questions. Okay. What revelations do you think we're going to learn in the book about her relationship with RFK Jr.? Because like a lot has already come out. Do you think there's anything?
Yeah. Listen, I think we're just going to it's just going to be more like, why do people like love this guy so much? Like, what is the obsession here? I think we're going to learn about maybe more affairs. Ryan Lizza hinted at that yesterday in part 4 of his series. But I'm also like, did he already kind of like try to like spoil the book? Or are they in on it together? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. This is such a weird PR moment where they're both imploding and exploding at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't tell which it is because it seems like I'm like reading all these things about Vanity Fair is, you know, maybe going to sunset Olivia's contract. But on the other hand, like who needs legacy media anymore? Like Olivia and Ryan Lizza are their own like Bravo channel over here.
Yeah. And he's like I think he's number 2. He's trending on Substack right now. So he's definitely making bank as this series implodes. I don't know. When I first met Olivia, it was last year in February. And I don't know why. I just straight up asked her, does Cheryl like you? And Jessica like slapped me and was like, Emily. And then Olivia just looked at me sinister and was like, no. So do what you will, because I'm confused still by that blind item that came out about Cheryl and Bobby and Olivia and how they all have fun together. I don't get if that was a real blind item. Who put that
out, that blind item?
Wait, what is the blind item?
I almost wonder if Olivia put it out herself. There was a blind item.
What platform was it on?
It was on NT Lawyer, I think.
He makes everything up.
No. It was on blind. Who's the blind item? Is that NT?
I think, are you talking about from the aggregate source that posts all of the blind items?
Yeah, that's where I saw it. But I think
he makes everything up. There was a great profile on him in Vulture a couple years ago because he had to address some, I mean, I know them to be true, claims about him taking advantage of this young woman, and he makes everything up from people who have seen how the sausage is made. Yeah.
I think it was on Demois.
Oh, okay.
Well, here's the thing. Even a broken clock can be right twice a day. If you say, hey, Olivia and Cheryl and RFK Jr. have an arrangement, I wouldn't say that's impossible. Like that to me, and yes, I know NT has made things up in the past. I think it's just like, maybe there is a deal. Because listen, it's fucking embarrassing what RFK Jr. has done to Cheryl Hines on so many levels. Yeah. And it's like, at what point does it become about not being married to a Kennedy anymore? Or maybe this was just like, listen, everybody's got a kink, right? Like maybe she's down to clown.
Well, the reason I believe the blind item is because I already knew it. So I guess I should have just said that. The blind item talked about how there was a right-leaning blogger that's associated with Maha that goes around DC, is drunk, and she's talking about RFK's sex life and how Cheryl's involved and how it's just this one. And that's obviously House and Habit, who I call apartment.
I guess
like what?
Sorry.
Who you call what? I didn't hear.
I call her apartment because we had a very bad public falling out. But it's been very weird to watch her pretend to be best friends with Cheryl, but then she's the first to do an exclusive interview with Olivia, and it's coming out today. So it's like, are they all involved? Is this everyone just making money? I don't really understand it. I also don't know who's gonna buy the book.
It's all very strange. Like I come from like the legacy media world. I worked at New York Magazine at the same time that Olivia was there. And she was such a darling of that world. And I think was sort of like at the time, like I think everybody looked at her as this like Joan Didion of our generation, this like bastard, like carrying the torch of like cool, sexy, really well done journalism. And to be like, oh, actually, she was sleeping with Keith Olbermann and then came in like the whole thing. It just almost like blows up in some ways, like my vision of all this. It was like, oh yeah, legacy media is just like everything else, like we're all just like climbing over one another and they're all sleeping together. And
the Keith Olbermann thing, I didn't know that. That was a surprise for me.
I think the book's gonna do great. Like, I mean, I just remember it being a tidal wave for someone that I had never heard of. And I remember people from my side, my world of the internet, which is a very like often like New York, LA media type people are who I have known for a long time and I'm friends with. And I was surprised to see so many people speak out, especially like in favor of Olivia. Like, admittedly, it's like funny and crazy that this is what was happening. And it felt, I don't know, it was just like one of those larger than life media stories, I feel like, for people in the journalism world. And so I think a lot of people are hooked in on that. And I think that people always love the idea of an affair. Like, I think that that's super interesting, especially with like, there's a Hollywood element to it. There's a lot of crossover. Everything I've seen about her, she's just weirder and weirder. And so I think it would do pretty well. But the passages I've read that
buy the rights to that book.
Have you read any passages?
Plus is about to buy the rights to that book and make the miniseries. I also will say I was going to buy the book. I was really excited about it. I was fascinated by it. And then I read the Vanity Fair excerpt and I was like, oh, this girl cannot write. You know what I mean? Like I was actually all for, like people make mistakes, whatever. I was all for the comeback, I was like, or like I was ready to accept that she admit. But then I read the Vanity Fair excerpt and it was like, on top of it all, she's a terrible writer. And you can't both be a terrible writer and a terrible reporter and embroiled in drama. And then also, while like legacy media is shedding all of its reporters and laying people off, be like, yeah, hire me again,
I mean, she called me a terrible writer, so it's like I don't even know what to believe anymore.
You're a great writer. I've been reading your Substack.
But you know what? House and Habit might have just said that she said I was a terrible writer because she wanted to say it. It's like my mom said you're bad. It's like that. I agree with Molly, though. I do see a lot of LA and New York media people on her posts like stoked about the book, and I think that there's going to be a lot of drama around it. But I feel like, Meredith, you've been going after Cheryl hard, so you're going to have to buy the book.
Oh, I'm buying the book. It will be used as a prop, so I will be able to use it as a tax write-off. But I have a whole plan for what I'm doing with the book. I actually made a fake version before I could get it, where I printed out the cover on my computer, but I didn't have any colored ink, so it was in black and white. It looked so shitty, but listen, it got the job done. I want to just flip for a minute because you had a great interview. I guess it came out last week. God,
thank you.
So crazy with Thomas Massey about the Epstein Files, and we've had Rokana on this show. And we're dying to know sort of what you're seeing from that behind the scenes, because we can't get the Republicans to talk to us about this. So that's why it's so fun for us to have you here. And so what do you make of some of these cracks?
They won't come?
No. And we've been so nice.
Really?
Yeah. Hook us up.
Well, I don't have a connection to Marjorie Taylor Greene, but
I'd love
to be great. I feel like she'd be great on this show.
I've emailed her team so many times. I'm like, dear Marjorie.
I think she's like, honestly, what I saw when I was at the press conference, I think it was 2 weeks ago now, she was over it. I was like, this woman is going to resign. Like you could just tell, like, she is, like, people were trying to say that she made up the death threats. I truly believe she was telling the truth because of how her aura just kind of was that day. I don't feel hopeful about the release. I know Massey in my interview said that he does feel like the American public is on their side this time and we're finally going to get transparency. But we've seen what the administration has been doing, and a lot of the survivors, I don't think they're very hopeful either after how many administrations have covered this up. It's been like 30 years now. So why now would we get the files?
I put a bet on it on a betting site that we're not getting them by January 2nd. That's how confident I feel.
How much you got riding on that? What kind of cash you got?
I think I put in, I can look it up for you, but I think that I put in like $10 and then I get like 70 if they are released before then. But I have no faith. I also don't think Big D is going to die anytime soon. He's around.
Oh, is that a bet on Polymarket too?
Probably. I haven't looked into it. I'm just saying, as an aside, I think that he's gonna stay kicking for quite a while.
People want to know the odds in the comments, Molly. They want to know what the odds are.
Okay. So my position was I put down $5 and I get 47 if they come out by then. 85% think that we will get them before January 20th. The odds on January 2nd is I don't really know how to read this site. With the chance, 10% chance. I don't know how to read it. Sorry, guys. But it's
Alan Sulkin, who's in the comments. One thing that I just like talking about this, I just want to throw it out there. Something I've been thinking about on the show is like the betting markets are wild in politics. And don't you think that like some senator or congressman is probably like playing the markets and like
thinking that
switching their votes and making money? Like, how is that? Like, that feels like a scandal waiting to happen to me.
We almost got it with the NBA stuff when the player took himself out of the game.
Right.
But that we didn't really hear much. It's probably the same. Yeah. I also think Trump's kids are making so much money right now.
Trump's kids are making so much money.
That's why they've stepped back so much, I think. Like, I think that's why people are like, oh, Ivanka just doesn't want to be political anymore. I'm like, no, she sees dollar signs in other ways. Have you been around Trump at all lately, Emily?
I've never been around. I've never been in the same room as Donald Trump.
I'm kind of surprised.
I've been in the same room as RFK, but not Cheryl. So maybe both of them, but I've like interacted. It was really weird. I guess to tailor back to that.
Yeah.
I would be at these Maha events and these women were just lining up that were in love with Bobby for like 30 years. Like girls that maybe had sex with him 30 years ago would be talking about his, and I'm like, what is it? I don't get it personally.
I was gonna ask, did you get it when you were in the room? Like, does he like smell amazing or something? He doesn't look like.
And I feel like I'm a sucker for like sociopaths, and I did not feel anything.
I think it's just the Kennedy thing. I mean, I don't know. Meredith can maybe also has more information on this, but it's like that was such a dream to like be with a Kennedy for so long, especially for like women in Massachusetts of a certain age. Like, I get why Cheryl jumped on it. I don't know why she's still there though. But yeah, I mean, I think that people just like to be around a Kennedy, and he was probably one of the more accessible ones, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it does seem like also there's these women who uplift him in the Maha movement they've gotten mad at me before, but I'm like, I swear to God, some of you are just involved with this so he will sext you. Like they like that's the vibe they give, because they make like giant posters of him and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, for me, one of the things that I found to be so interesting is like apparently this sexual proclivity that he has is like a really dangerous way to spread STDs.
What?
Yeah.
Like, are we allowed to say the word?
STDs?
No,
Yeah.
the word that he does. The F
It
word.
begins with an F.
Oh.
Yeah. We
know.
all learned.
I was like, I'm too Catholic for this. Like, I cannot know this. And so, but I think like it is interesting. And I do think like Cheryl, this is what I will give Cheryl credit here. And I don't mean that she's old, but being an aging actress in Hollywood is not easy at any time, but especially these days. So like once Curb is over, what is Cheryl Hines meant to go do? Like try to get on a limited series on Netflix and maybe, make $1 million and then half of that goes to other people. It's really hard to be like a Cheryl Hines in this industry at this day and age. So in a way, I get why she's still with Bobby. It makes her relevant.
Sometimes I think this whole thing is hunting wives. Like
yes!
The whole thing.
100%. You think maybe like Cheryl and Usha are like somewhere off being like, let's 100%. I think
we'll have more answers after we read we might have a few more answers after we read the book, but it almost feels like Bobby's okay with the book being out. He's still associating like with Jessica and like she's promoting the books. I'm like, are they all in on it?
I know we might be the dumbest ones here. I also saw that today there was this morning, there's like new stipulations coming out around vaccines. So like that's making him a big talking point today. And so it's kind of to me, I was like, oh, are we getting a little SEO optimization from the White House today? It's like, hey, don't pay attention to American Canto. Look at the vaccine stuff over here. Oh, how funny that we release it today. We release this information today.
That is interesting. Yeah.
And like, can I ask you, does it feel like that's what you voted for? Like you like believe in the Maha movement. Do you feel like RFK is doing what you wanted him to do? Like, how do you feel about it?
I actually got hired for Maha because I wasn't Maha. They wanted a voice that wasn't Maha to relate to non-Mahas. So they wanted someone that was like transitional Maha. So all the articles I've written are like, hey, I'm on Adderall, but I want to like eat tree bark. But sadly, I'm part of the system. So my articles have been very much like, I want to be Maha, but so I'm vaccinated. I have prescription drugs. So I take Tylenol. I took Advil yesterday. So it's like, I really think there's people in the movement that really do stand by all this, and they're disappointed in a lot of the stuff that's happening. And I think a lot of them are blaming like Susie Wiles. But I think there are people that really are truly Maha. Like they live on biodegradable farms. They drink raw milk every day. Like they live by it. And I really want to, like, I wish I could be that person, but living in LA, it's just not feasible. Like I can barely string my Christmas lights, let alone plant a garden and eat from the ground. But I feel like I feel like the people that are really truly Maha really did vote for that. But I just don't think I was like a true Maha voter.
Got it.
I love the idea of it. Hard in practice for me personally, I think.
Cheryl's a part of the system. I like saying that in terms of Adderall, etc. Saying part of the system. That's great. I'm going to steal that from you if that's okay. But I watched Cheryl on Tucker Carlson, and I was thinking half a Xan, possibly half a Percocet, because there was a slight slur to her as a many-year Curb watcher, and I was like, like it just like there was something in the teeth, So
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, a little glazed over.
I think some of these people are in Maha. They are on Xanax and Valium, and but they're not going to
I
tell
would
you
need to
that.
be. Yeah.
That's what I'm always sort of confused about the Maha
Also,
movement. He's like, it's tough because there's things in there where I'm like, yeah, our food supply is like needs to be healthier. And like, what is Big Pharma doing? And then on the other hand, like, why aren't you backing the like ACA subsidies? You know what I mean? Like the pick and choosing of like how Maha actually organizes itself. I'm always a little bit like, okay, interesting choice.
Yeah, I think it's like everything else in life. I think it's in theory, it's great, but everyone has a flaw. Like no human is perfect in this movement. Like everyone has a vice. And maybe RFK's is sex. Well, we know that it was.
Yeah, right. And Trump has all of them.
Yeah. Even it said yesterday, Ryan Liz has said Olivia like takes Adderall and drives around and talks to RFK on the phone. I was like, okay, I'm glad I know that.
It's also high school coded.
Olivia's all of us. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Is Olivia all of us? Yeah.
Right? Maybe there's an Olivia in all of us. Well,
Definitely.
You know what? This has been, Emilie, you have been such a delight.
Yeah, this was fun.
Thanks for having me.
We are so grateful to have you. We hope you'll come back. And we wish you a good December 2nd.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye, Emilie. Thank you.
Bye.
Juicy.
I
fun.
liked her.
Yeah, oh my God, she's the best.
Yeah, she's great.
She's the best.
We're all Olivia Nuzzi. What if we all stood up and we were like, I'm Olivia? It's true though. It's like who amongst us has not, taken a little Adderall, driven around, fallen in love with the wrong guy, the wrong brainworm, if you will. Like who amongst us?
I took Adderall once in college.
That's it? You've only taken Adderall once?
Yeah.
You're so Maha. You're so pure.
Stay with me. To write a paper, and I fucking crushed it. And then 2 days later, I got really sick and I had mono. And I convinced myself that it was my mom punishing me from the grave for taking Adderall, which is like such a Catholic reaction.
Yeah. It's Catholic as fuck. Yeah.
And I never took it again because I was like, oh, she was pissed.
Wow.
Yeah. What can I say? I'm a square. You guys, we end every show with this same segment and we ask each other what's having a moment for each of us. And I pose it to the group. Rebecca, what's having a moment for you right now?
What's having a moment for me, unfortunately, is as always, Melania. She announced that she has a production company in relationship to this documentary that's coming out. I won't go see it in theaters. I'm not that, unhinged, but I will be watching the Melania documentary that got something like $20 million. I think maybe even more than that. I just like Melania fascinates me no end. And her Christmas decorations just came out at the White House. Something that I found interesting was the video that they put out was all in really tight shots. It was all like looking at these minute details. The reason being is that usually it's the East Wing that's decorated. Right. It's usually these sweeping big shots of hallways. And of course, the East Wing is a pile of rubble right now. And Melania had like, be best ribbons on everything. And I just get a kick out of Melania, and I'm curious to see, like maybe her production company is gonna finance the Olivia Nuzzi limited series, So
that wouldn't be a bad money move.
That would say what?
That would be a good money move, I think.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, like, I'm curious. I mean, if I know anything about celebrity production companies, and I do, it will probably be like a series of really shitty Be Best documentaries and nothing else. But the American Canto limited series on Paramount Plus would fucking eat.
Molly, what's having a moment for you?
Oh my God. It's not political, but it could be. The epilogue to the Karen Reed trial that has been playing out on social media these days I had the best Thanksgiving of my life. I don't think I've felt a high like this since January 6th. Like, I am absolutely living. So the entire group of people that rally behind Karen Reed is imploding right now. And Turtle Boy, who is the main propagandist who really led the charge and got the case so high up in the media and in the social media sphere, he's like basically admitted that he knows she did it now, and he's having a complete mental breakdown, and he's been going live all weekend. I know.
I that on purpose, Vienna. Vienna's like, why?
Vienna, that was excellent.
Vienna took it down so quick. I put it up. I didn't even know if it would work, and like Vienna was like, down.
That's the real Turtle Boy. No, but it's been so off the chain with like them going live every night. I don't know, Meredith. I think you've seen, and I haven't seen any requests to come up. So I think you knew we were really cooking all weekend. But me and all my girls that I met on TikTok through following this case, and of course our friend Mac, my 68-year-old friend from Dorchester, we've been like on TikTok live all weekend obsessively. It's like even my boyfriend, who really doesn't particularly care to follow any of this stuff, he said to me the other day, he's like, I know this is a really big deal right now, because I showed him a video that had leaked of Turtle Boy crying and pounding on the floor saying, I can't go back regarding jail. He was like, I know this is huge. He's like, feel free to live stream in the living room tonight.
Wait,
Molly, it's just been fantastic.
For the plebes in the audience, and by plebes I mean me, can you like do a quick recap of like what has brought us into this moment? Karen Reed has been this big trial in Boston. She killed her husband. She didn't kill her husband. Go ahead. You like eat for a second.
So I would really recommend people start. There's so much misinformation out there about this case. It's really like peak fake news. But and it's a smear campaign. That's one of the reasons why I got so interested in it, because one of my special interests is sort of media smear campaigns. But I would recommend the podcast 34 Fairview Road by M. William Phelps. It's an excellent listen, and it really brings us through the Turtle Boy of it all, because at the time M. William Phelps and Turtle Boy shared a manager, and so he linked up with Turtle Boy thinking this will be a good way to get to the bottom line. But by the time the podcast is over, he's so disgusted with everything that he's witnessed that he did come to the right conclusion, which is that Karen Reed backed her car into her boyfriend, Officer John O'Keefe, on July 29, 2001. And she is a woman from resources. And when she was fighting what was initially supposed to just be a manslaughter charge, she wound up getting arrested for second degree, because they showed intent in her Lexus data that she was driving ridiculously unsafe, and in Massachusetts, under the eyes of the law, that's second degree. So basically, where she took the smear campaign is to frame all of the people who are actually witnesses to the crime, and cover it under the sort of umbrella of cop corruption, because there was seriously imperfect policing, to say the very least. And because this movement picked up traction online, it got really out of control with the narrative. And where we are right now, it's both too much to explain and also nothing. It's a very boring case, and when it comes down to it, because at the end of the day, it is a DUI hit and run.
Yeah.
But they've created such fantastical lore about what could have happened. Essentially, the popular narrative is that over 50 people are involved in a murder conspiracy. And if you've ever even tried to host a surprise party, you would know that it's hard to get 10 people to keep a secret, let alone 50.
Okay.
So I kind of got into it because a friend of mine who is a free Karen Reed was like, you should watch this case in Massachusetts. It's a nightmare. And I was just reading all of the stuff that I've come to find out I came to find out pretty quickly was just propaganda, because it was one of those things where the more you asked questions and the deeper you got into it, the more you realized that what the popular theory is completely implausible. And so I believe that she kind of got off
on HBO, and I was like, she clearly did it. You know what I mean? Like I watched this documentary, and I was like, there's like really, it's like she very clearly did this. I couldn't believe the amount of hysteria around this, because to me, I watched this and I was like, she did it. Like what?
Well, coming to Amazon Prime soon, I think, is a series that is created by a guy. I'm so sorry I don't remember his name, but he was a writer on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Comes more from the comedy world. Executive produced by David E. Kelley, with Elizabeth Banks starring as Karen Reed. And I just want to throw this. In terms of Karen Reed's personality, you should know that she went on a local conservative talk radio show and said that she thinks Elizabeth Banks is too old to play her, which is, I don't know if you've seen Karen Reed, but that's a pretty crazy assertion. And I'm so looking forward to it, because I do not think it will be kind to Karen. And with everyone turning on her now, I think people are really getting primed, because there's people that still believe in Karen's innocence, and then there's people who are really into this because of the cult of Turtle Boy, and none of them right now are looking great. There's been illegal wiretapping going on. I have a cat scratching my lap, but yeah,
what a wild
her shout out.
A place, the internet.
It really is. And I am concerned about how the public is litigating true crime cases in the, and deciding there. There's still people out there who believe like Brian Kohberger is innocent. So I'm, sometimes I'm interested in true crime. That came from a family of, where that was just a topic at hand all the time. But really, I'm super interested in the way that social media has decided to take all this on their own. So yeah, it's so beyond the moment with me. It's whatever's even more momenty than the moment.
It's the lifetime. It's the decade.
It's the lifestyle as well.
Meredith, what's happening for you, friend?
What's having a moment for me is for the first time in my life, I did a keratin treatment. And I am really feeling it. I haven't been able to wash my hair in like 3 days, and that's okay. So Nick, if you're watching this, don't worry. I haven't been washing my hair. But yeah, I just decided that I was going to do a keratin treatment, and, it's supposed to make styling a lot easier, and it's very straight right now, but Rebecca has seen it in the flesh, and it does look really good. She saw it right after I got it. So I'm pretty excited about it. And I'll report back on, I feel like keratin treatments had like a moment back.
I was going to say, you're a little post moment here.
I love them.
Do you get them, Molly?
I haven't in a long time, but I would say they're not just post moment. I think Meredith is bringing them back, and I'm feeling inspired to go get a keratin treatment soon. I've been thinking of it in the back of my mind, and this might have just been the push I needed.
Wow, you heard it here first. Trendsetter.
You guys, this has been so fun. We will be back on Friday with another fabulous guest that we'll tell you about later, because that's how it works here on live TV. But Molly, thank you so much for joining us. Remind our friends and family where they can find you.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Malls. You can find me on TikTok at It's Big Molly. You can also check out my podcast. I would appreciate it so much. Mother May I Sleep With podcast, a long form podcast about Lifetime original movies. I'm planning on covering a lot of Christmas stuff coming up soon. I'm going full Christmas this year. And also my podcast Halvesies, which is this week I talk about the Boston Tickler, which was a guy who was breaking into off-campus housing at BC and tickling the feet of young boys and women.
What?
It was young boys and women. So wait, was there like an age thing going on there?
What?
No, I just think that I wanted to say young boys and women, but no, college students who were staying there for the summer. So yeah, it was it's kind of great because we Boston College had made a statement saying there was no tickling, which I think is a very strange statement for my alma mater to make in relation to this. But then I did some poking around on Reddit and I put up a post asking, and someone said that their friend was tickled and actually wound up doing inpatient treatment because they were so disturbed by it. So lots of mixed answers on what happened with the tickler, but I believe it's real.
Get a statement from BC and be like, allegations say there wasn't tickling. Is there a cover up happening at BC?
I don't want to defame them, but I don't know, not defame them, but I don't want to put them on blast. I'm sure it was a difficult topic for them to approach, but yeah, I would love if you would listen to Halvesies. That would mean the most to me. Thank you so much for having me, you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Thanks, Vienna.